Welcome to the GameDev.tv Community Podcast. I'm your host KB, and I would like to introduce you to industry professionals and people who successfully made their path to the video game industry. I hope that you will enjoy the podcast and get useful tips that will bring you closer to achieving your dreams. Now, let's get right into the podcast. Welcome to the GameDev.tv podcast. Simon Kertonegoro.
Yeah, nice.
There we go. I tried my best. And you're a vice president of developer success for Enjin, right?
Yeah.
I
love my
So you
job.
play an integral role in the providing development, marketing, thought leadership content. And could you also let the fans know a little bit more about what you do and what Enjin is, and then we'll go from there? Because this is going to be a loaded episode, and this is not financial advice, but most people in this community probably don't understand fully what NFTs are, how they can integrate it into games, because this is about aspiring game developers learning how to make games. So I thought it'd be great to bring you on to understand more of how can that work and why should people be interested in it. But let's first get started about you. So let them know a little bit about who you are, what Enjin is, and let's go from there.
Enjin's been around for about 10 years. The original business that Enjin built was called Enjin.com. It was a kind of like a social network for gamers. That grew very quickly to about 20 million users. And off that, they established a team, they established a development process. And then when kind of cryptocurrency and Ethereum specifically came along, the Enjin team saw that, holy shit, this is the future of gaming, because this allows people to own these digital assets that are tangible, that are provably scarce, that they can own forever, that no one can ever take off them. Who doesn't want that? It's so basically that was around 2017 when our CTO Vitek Radomski started inventing what he thought was the first NFT in the world. So there was three projects in. Well, absolutely, there were three projects working on NFTs at the same time. So CryptoKitties obviously launched the first popular NFTs. But Vitek had already been developing his NFT standard, which has turned into the ERC 1155 token standard now. He started developing that early June or something like that, and CryptoKitties came out in November of 2017. And then there was also CryptoPunks as well, which came out very soon after Vitek started developing his first ideation of NFTs. So when Vitek was actually creating it, he thought he was inventing NFTs for the first time ever.
Wow.
But there was obviously a few different projects kind of racing. ERC 1155 shipped a couple of years later. Vitek spent a lot of time doing a really good job of it, and it's been gaining mass adoption now. It's easily the fastest growing token standard as far as NFTs go. And for anyone watching, what a token standard is, it's basically a template on how you develop your NFT. So say for example, you wanted to bake a cookie. That cookie is going to have a recipe, and ERC 1155 is the recipe, and that's the recipe that's becoming the most popular recipe for baking NFTs basically in the world right now. So that was 2017, and I came on not long after. I started in social media, and then went into marketing, and then now I'm the VP of Developer Success. And basically my job has been pretty multifaceted the whole time, just basically doing whatever we needed to do to grow as a business. So in any startup, you end up finding yourself wearing a lot of different hats. Yeah. And it's really good. It's really exciting. It can be a lot of work, but it's definitely incredibly rewarding, and you learn and you grow so much. So at this point in time, my job is to chat with developers, game developers, and also app developers too. We've got an amazing set of unannounced apps that are coming, NFT, that are integrating NFTs and that are coming to the Enjin ecosystem and that are integrating NFTs right now. So basically, I'm the first guy they chat to. I talk about their business models, their ideas, and just try to understand their product market fit, their users, and then try to provide kind of insight into what's worked in the NFT space and what generally isn't really what is sustainable business and what isn't, essentially. And then once we've kind of ensured that we're really excited about their project, then we bring them into the ecosystem. We've got about 60 developers in right now. When I first started, we had none. So over the last few years, yeah. So we've developed like a good business development process, a good developer success process, where we're not only advising and providing like a level of consultancy for business models and everything, but also user retention and user acquisition, and also making sure that the integration process is really fluid. Some developers have integrated NFTs into their apps within like 48 hours before, which is just mind-blowing when you think about like how much of an advanced technology,
like most people still are like, what are they? And I'm like, non-fungible tokens. That's
what
about
are they?
much.
What are they? You'll find out in 48 hours once it's inside your app.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, and then on the back end of that, we're obviously providing marketing advice and support and amplification where it makes sense. We obviously, we have to be very respectful of our community, and we understand that they want to see what they want to see, and they're interested in what they're interested in. So we try to essentially make sure that we're not really promoting things that they're not interested in, basically.
Okay.
But yeah, like it's a very multifaceted job that I have, and I kind of connect all of that together within the company and within our adopters, and also like heaps of like other companies and brands and creators want to partner with Enjin. And we're in a great position where we have this huge ecosystem of amazing developers with amazing innovations, and we can kind of just be the connector between the creators and the platforms, essentially, the app developers and the game developers. So that's part of what I do as well. It's really fun.
That's a lot to do. How do you handle all that?
Got a really amazing team at Enjin. Really, like it sounds like a lot, but I don't know. Like the processes are just kind of in place now, and we just go through the motions, and it gets done. So. Yeah, I think it's mainly due to experience. The processes are in place, and we've got just a really great team. It definitely would be impossible to do it if I wasn't mainly like basically offloading most of the work to other people that are better than me at these things. So yeah,
I mean, hey, that's how it works. You like, this is our vision, and these people can do it really well. Let them do it.
Yeah,
everything gets done.
Yeah, so it's amazing, like being surrounded by people that are better than you. It's really good.
Isn't it a great feeling?
Yeah, I like really being honest about all of the things I suck at, and then just letting other people deal with that stuff. It's really important, I think.
Yeah, I think it's being humble and self-aware, which I think most people need in any career they're doing. Yeah. And realistic, right? You don't want to be like, I could do it, and then you can't, and then fail, and then they're like, you said you could do it. I was like, I was wishful thinking.
Yeah, I'm an optimist.
I don't know if it's gonna work that time. So for anybody who wants to make games, what is the process like to start adding NFTs to their games? Is that like something that takes 40 hours to understand, or is that something as simple as like a 2-minute explanation?
So there's two ways to think about that. So, the first way to think about it is, if you're going to make a game, you're going to make a game, and it's really important that it's a really good game first.
Rule number one, make a good game before you think about anything else. Yeah. Oh, so that's a good question. So you don't have to think about it at the beginning of the game. You can think about it near the end. Okay.
Well, you can think about it at the beginning of the game, but like the most important part of any game is the game loop. And the most important part of any app is the product market fit and the user experience. And understanding that is more important than understanding how the NFTs will fit into it. Because if you understand that, then you understand your user base, and you understand what they want, and you understand how to give them something that they will enjoy. And once they enjoy something, they're going to keep using it, and then they're going to tell their friends to use it. And then you're going to have a positive retention rate where you're gaining, for every person that you attract, you're going to get more people in. And then that's actually possible to do that without NFTs. But NFTs are just this multiplier on top. When you have all of that right, and you want to create like this valuable this ecosystem with real world value, where people are communicating with each other in a very tangible, meaningful way, and they're, you know, basically motivated to bring more people into your ecosystem, that's when you can start thinking about NFTs. And it is good to start thinking about that at the beginning, but it just can't be, in my opinion, it generally shouldn't, it generally isn't like the core part of your success framework. You need to have everything else taken care of first. So I mean, this is also because like we mainly deal with like very kind of like apps that are competitive with apps in the app store. You know what I mean? Like we're not really like building, or we're not really building an ecosystem of dApps per se that are very, very crypto market orientated. We're building apps that we feel are gonna you know, just take over Google Play and take over the Apple App Store and take over
Fortnite,
the Xbox store. Exactly.
yeah, PlayStation Store,
and take over Steam and this kind of thing. So so, you know, these mainstream users have an expectation of what a user experience and what a game loop should look like. So we need to serve that need for them first, and then give them something on top of that that they've never seen before. And that's what NFTs can do. So yeah, what we find with NFTs is that they just create this level of like community and network effects beyond anything that's been possible before. Like, you know, over the last 10 years, like user generated content has been the thing. Like, you know,
it's insane.
It's everything. Yeah.
Everywhere you look,
yeah,
somebody's
Facebook,
making
Instagram,
something.
Yeah. All of them they're all just user generated content platforms, but NFTs are user generated value platforms. So with an NFT, if you put content into an NFT, then that NFT is valuable. You can sell it. And this puts the power in the hands of the user instead of the power of the platform. So the creator can then have a direct relationship with whoever they want to sell that NFT to. And then they can, you know, potentially, you know, there's a whole bunch of different ways you can attach content to that NFT. But with games, especially, like when you're doing this, game developers have the ability to create these kind of ecosystems where people are trading, people are working together, people are cooperating, people are making real money, and they need to like communicate with each other to do that. And therefore they need to actually retain each other as players in your game. So they're doing the player retention for you because they need each other to get the NFTs that they want. And creators are then, if you have a user generated value system in your game or in your app as well, creators are minting these NFTs and then telling people to come to your platform to buy them. That's a user acquisition model that's just automatically doing your hard work for you, all of your marketing and everything. And then it's just super important for society anyway. I think like creators deserve to be paid and deserve to make a living. So I mean,
actually, let's expand on that. No, yeah, of course, 100%. But yeah, because I think a lot of people are confused into what everything is. So like that's the key thing you said, why it's important for society. Can you expand on that so people can actually fully understand, like, why is NFTs? Why is this important? Why should I care? Because I've noticed a lot of people 9 out of 10 would be like, I kind of get it, but why?
Yeah. I mean, the main thing that I think about is, you know, in 5 to 10 years, automation of a lot of production models are going to be basically taking most of our jobs, essentially. So there's certain things that computers and robots are always going to do better than us. And generally, like the production economy is just filled with all of those jobs.
It's getting bad now, yeah. Everywhere is getting replaced. Even chefs now, they have like robots that can do cooking.
Oh my God, really?
Yeah, I've seen some of it. I'm like, oh, it's over, guys. It's
oh shit. And maybe even the services industry too. I think the one thing that that a robot can never really compete with a human on is creativity. Like, and we as patrons or fans, like we will never appreciate a robot's creativity as much as we'll appreciate a human being's creativity. So I feel like when all is said and done, when those robots come for our job, the creator economy is going to be the thing that we can all fall back on. And a creator economy doesn't work in a platform like Facebook, where you just make all of this content. You don't get paid for any of the content. Facebook gets all of the ad
technically
revenue.
It's on Facebook, so they kind of own it.
Yeah, they get everything. You get nothing. You get likes. you get those.
Cool.
Yeah. This is what you get. So So NFTs, like like the thing that that people get wrong about NFTs is that the real way to use them is not as like a license over this content, or I mean, yeah, you can use it like that too, and maybe that's cool. But I think the undiscovered use case of NFTs is you got to think of them like a key. They're a key that allow you to unlock whatever you want to unlock, whether it allows you to unlock content. So in the space, in the art space, right? Like we have all of these amazing artists creating these amazing NFTs, but everyone can look at them and everyone can use them in the same way, which is just, use them view them online basically.
Yeah.
But soon there's going to be the ability, if you own this NFT art, you're going to be able to hang it up on your wall in like, you're going to have like literally physical frames that will only allow you to hang that NFT art up if you have the token. You're going to be able to jump into like virtual worlds. And
like a Ready Player One?
Exactly. And you're only going to be able to hang that NFT up on your wall if you own that token. So like the key to NFTs is thinking about them as a product. They're a product just like any other product in the world. When you as a human being want to purchase a product, you do it because you want the benefits from that product. So us as NFT creators need to say, all right, so what benefits do people want from this product? Do they want to be able to hang it up on the wall? Do they want to be able to listen to a piece of music that no one else can listen to? That predicts that there's going to be an NFT Spotify eventually. Do they want to be able to watch videos that no one else can watch? Yes, they do. So that predicts that there's going to be NFT podcasts eventually. And then do they want to... So let's do it. Let's build this.
Let's build it, right?
You can
with jump the first NFT podcast. Why not?
Yeah, I mean, if you got a video platform, like YouTube could integrate NFTs into their platform within 48 hours and make this possible.
Let's do it.
I'm fully speculating, but
it's good to though speculate, think, because that's how we get new ideas.
Yeah. And, in the gaming world, we do this in a very simple way as well. It's like, you own this NFT, it's a virtual item. So you get to use this sword, you get access to this virtual world, So as soon as you start to think of NFTs as a key, that's really when or as a product that unlocks value, or that unlocks benefits, that's really when I think things will start to make sense to people.
Okay. Yeah, because I have a few people who are like, I think most coins are scams except Bitcoin. I'm like, okay, at least you're coming onto the crypto trains. Before they weren't, but I was like, there's still more legit companies than just, there's not a lot of what they call shit coins. There's a lot of good coins out there. And then they're like, I don't know. So for anybody who's thinking and like, oh, but you like, maybe they trust Bitcoin, but they think all the other altcoins are not like legit. What would you say to people like that who are still skeptical, especially something like Enjin? I'm like, oh, hey, Enjin's cool. And they're like, I don't know about it. They're making Ready Player One. Like, what would you say? That's what got me hooked the first time. I was like, Ready Player One? I'm in.
Yeah.
I bought it 3 years ago. And I was like, nobody else cared. I was like, all right.
Awesome. So I'd say it's good to be skeptical. I'd definitely commend that approach. It's definitely good to look at the business model and the actual the need for the product that this project is creating. I think with anything that you want to put money into, you're really looking for whether or not it's going to exist in a few years, and then whether or not it's going to exist in 10 years, and then whether or not it's going to exist in 100 years. And I'll tell you what, NFTs are going to be the digital product of the next century. Once you start to have NFTs that actually do things, that actually give you value, and that you don't have to buy for $69 million, then
what's it, Banksy or what's it called? The one guy who made like 69 or a ton of art for like a year or 2 years.
It was an amazing NFT, don't get me wrong, and an amazing story, and he definitely deserved it. But obviously the rest of us can't afford to buy an NFT for any millions of dollars.
Maybe if Dogecoin makes it like $10 or $100.
Yeah, and then we'll all be good. But yeah, I mean, in the meantime, like there's going to be the other thing is like the other important thing is that NFTs, you don't have to pay gas to purchase them and that kind of thing. And we've launched a gas-free blockchain that enables that. So the reality of NFTs for us is, like, I'm going to go buy this digital product. I'm going to spend $5 to buy it, and it's going to be centralized and it's locked in a server, and I don't really own it, and the developer can take it away from me and I can never resell it. Or I pay the exact same price for the NFT version of it, and I can resell it for more or less, or just get some of my money back. I will own it forever in my wallet, blockchain wallet. It's completely mine. It's completely self-sovereign. No one can ever take it away from me.
It's yours.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And it's there in the public domain, and all of the data surrounding it is completely transparent because it's on the blockchain. What are you going to choose? You're going to choose the NFT every single time. If there's no extra cost, if there's no user experience, there's no part of the user experience is negative compared to the centralized option, you're going to choose the NFT every single time. So that's what we're doing at Enjin, and we're going to make sure that that happens. And then you can kind of foresee how long we're going to be around based on that. Really.
No, when I first heard about Enjin, I saw I was like kind of trying to do like the way I imagined it was like Ready Player One at the time. So that's when I was like, oh, it's gonna be huge. But I think you've expanded more into something that's deeper than that. But even then, for someone who's like, what's the idea of like creating a Ready Player One? Is that like the actual go into a virtual world, or is that just the idea of games are kind of connected in the blockchain or ecosystems?
Yeah. Like, I think the most important thing about Ready Player One was that there was real value in it, right? Like the one aspect of it was, this really amazing game where you could jump through these virtual different worlds, and that's cool visually. But Ready Player One as a movie would never have worked if there wasn't real value attached to all of the assets in there. Because that's what everyone was fighting for, and people wanted to control it, and it was this huge economy.
They didn't care about the real world. They were like, "This means more to me."
Yeah, because you can literally make a living from it, and I think that that's bound to exist in the real world. And I think blockchain has to be the method of transaction. Otherwise, you've got all of this value there, just that's untransparent. It could just disappear or be deleted, or it could be altered, or it could be taken from you. It just needs to be on the blockchain. So NFTs, to me, they are the product of the metaverse, and cryptocurrencies are the currency of the metaverse. And obviously Ready Player One is what we think of as the metaverse. Now, as far as the virtual worlds go, we've actually got adopters that are creating like things that are very similar to Ready Player One. Like there's this one adopter called Altiverse, where you can actually spin up your own world. So they create the templates, and then you can then redesign the worlds, and you can create, like they're basically going to have thousands and thousands of different worlds that you can move between pretty smoothly.
Awesome.
Yeah. So, and that's just one of our amazing adopters. We've got like a whole host of them. And then also because these items are on the blockchain, a lot of them are usable in multiple games as well. So you don't even need that fluid experience where you can just move through a portal and go through a new world. You can actually just completely exit this game. It doesn't even need in Ready Player One, this game was controlled by one man. And that's where the problem happened. Because
it wasn't decentralized.
It was completely centralized. This one guy dies. He puts up a big competition, and everyone fights for control over it.
Yeah,
that doesn't happen in the blockchain world, because the control is on the blockchain. But all of these different games controlled by different people can then see your wallet and allow you to have benefits in their games based on your inventory. So there are already a lot of NFTs in the Enjin ecosystem that are literally playable with like 5 or 6 different games. And you can literally jump through these worlds and actually see, holy shit, like there it is. And there it looks like that in this game, and like that in this game. It's 2D in this game, and it's 3D in this game. It's really cool. So
that's so cool.
Yeah, that it's already happening, and that's just the first step, basically.
And we're just so early. Like people understand, it's like the beginning of what could potentially be the Ready Player One. It could be like the change in the way everything works: video games, NFTs, communication. Like it's wild to me. Which is why I wanted to do this, because I wanted to help people who are starting to make games be like, hey, think about this. So how does someone like start today? Do they go to the Enjin.com and like after they realize their game is good, and then say, hey, how do I integrate it into it? Like, how do they start that process besides making the game? Right, the game's already made.
Yeah. They can go to Enjin.io. Our documentation is there. There's the minting panel there. You can just jump in and start minting NFTs straight away if you want. Um, you can even like contact us and jump on a call with us, and we'll talk about your game and kind of see where it's at. And if it's like far enough down the line, we'll bring you into the ecosystem and we'll be there to help you do the integration. We've got a support team. You got me, you got all of the other developers there. You know, we've got some just absolute geniuses there. So it's a really, really thriving and positive community, and really something that's been like a blessing to be a part of. So yeah, it's an open invitation. But I am the gatekeeper, so
Hey.
but it's always going to be a good conversation. I'm a very friendly and constructive gatekeeper. So yeah.
So what do you like your restrictions when somebody comes to you and you're like, yes or no? How do you decide?
Yeah, so I just think of it from our community standpoint,
Okay.
and the Enjin community. They want to see games that are going to launch, that are going to come out,
Like a crash and burn, or have a lot of bugs, like kind of like Cyberpunk. You know, got to watch out for that stuff.
Yeah, exactly. They want to see games that are going to grow in popularity. They want to see games that are going to show yeah, just show the world what NFTs can do, basically. So it's a pretty simple it's a pretty simple list to get through, and we're there to help you get through them. It's not like we just say like, oh no, that's not.
Oh yeah, you're like, nope, see you later, goodbye. You're like, but wait, I wanted to know more.
Yeah, no, we'll jump on the phone and we'll talk about it, and we'll work everything out together, you know.
And so if anybody wants to see examples of stuff that's been accepted, what are some games that they can check out?
Yeah, you can go to Enjin.io, and then on the top of the bar there's the About section, and then there's Powered by Enjin. And then there's a whole list of games there. Some of them are live and playable right now. Some of them have full NFT integration, so you can go and buy the NFTs, link your wallet up to their game, and then use the NFTs in the game. Some of them are giving out NFTs, so you go and play these games and you'll win NFTs just for playing. And some of them are just in demo mode, and you can see like these are
a lot of games, and they're all really unique and really cool.
And like they're all like competitive with the rest of the traditional mainstream game world right now. So we're really trying to so you know, like when you go to the App Store, and you download like Candy Crush, I call that a traditional mainstream game right now. So that's the market that we want to take. So when people ask me like, you know, who's your competitor in the blockchain space, I think, you know, our competitor is like
mainstream games.
Yeah, our competitors are all in the mainstream games section. Okay. Like really, like I was just trying to think of like, oh yeah, what's a mainstream game platform that allows people to create items? But there's no,
there really isn't anything. Yeah.
Why would that exist? Because centralized items are just a number. You don't need any help making that. So yeah, I think that it's a really good idea for the crypto world to band together. For us, like, you know, there's 2.6 or 2.3 billion gamers out there, and how many do we have among us in the crypto space? Like maybe like 100K or something, maybe a million. I don't know. Like
it's growing in like the last year. So yeah, maybe a million, but there's still a lot of people who just don't know a lot of, at least in my area of people, but
and even 2.2 billion people.
And then even actually I could see a lot of people, even some of the smarter people that I know, even they were like, I'm starting to understand it, but everything else is a scam. I was like, oh, at least you're getting into it. But like, it's weird how like, so I feel like some of the people who were higher level thinking are like now getting into it, but still think it's kind of like sketchy. Like I wonder if it's just some people who are like, oh my God, I see it because I've played games my whole life, or because like, have you ever heard of PlayStation Home? That type of thing, after like living in it, playing in it, and like buying stuff, I was like, I get all of this. I get people want to spend money on something that's gone now. They'll spend hundreds and hundreds of dollars just because it gave them value. They had value to it. So it's like, this is it. This is happening now in the real world. Everything's becoming virtual. Everything's becoming, you know, VR, AR, augmented video game like. So it's just it's just inevitable. It's happening. So get on the bandwagon. But
Yeah.
I'm curious, is like, how do you help guide people towards understanding it more? Do you show them like videos, books? Do you like, how do you help someone understand something clear? Like people are like, oh, what's a blockchain? What's this? What's that? Where do you send people?
So what we found is that people don't really care. Well, most people, the vast majority of people that aren't technologists, they don't really care about what the technology is and how it works. They just want to know what it does for them.
Exactly.
So, so if someone asks me for the first time, what's the deal with NFTs? They seem really confusing and dumb. I'll basically say, all that you really need to know is that the blockchain provides data that is irrefutably proven. So when the blockchain tells you something, you know with 100% certainty that it's true. Now, all an NFT is an item that the blockchain has confirmed is unique. And then what that can mean for you is that as a user, you get to own this one item that no one else owns. And if there's only 100 of those items made, you know that there's only 100 of those items made because you can just plainly see on the blockchain that you have one of those 100 items. There's no other scenario in the world where you can confirm that so easily. Even if there's only 100 of these items minted, like, 100 records were created. Cool, you've got one of them. Now, can you run around the world and go and see that there's only 99 of those items in the world? No, you can't. You can't do it because it's not on the blockchain.
Yeah.
Now this game developer has just created this item, and they say that there's only 100 of them, but it's not on the blockchain. But they've gone and sent out 1,000 of them. How do you know? You don't. You can't.
You don't.
You never know. So the blockchain is the only single way to irrefutably prove scarcity. And that's the core value of the NFT. Now, the second value of the NFT is anything on the blockchain is resellable. So you own this NFT, you can resell it, whether it's to get your usage out of it and then just get some of your money back, whether it's to get an NFT that you think will grow in popularity and grow in demand, and therefore you may be able to sell it for more, or you may not. That's not possible as well, like with any kind of other digital item, basically. So yeah, I think that's what people really like get involved with the NFT space for. So that's what I kind of tend to focus on.
Yeah, great explanation. And for people, so the one thing that I love about like Enjin and all this cryptocurrencies is the fact that like it allows people a way to go towards the future, I guess. Like, so how would you advise anybody who feels like, oh, this is already working, why do I need to go towards something that might work in the future? Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's a really interesting question, right? Because there's a lot of game developers that already have their business models worked out, and this new kind of way of doing things is different, and it's not worked out,
and it's not really established. It's still early stages, so people are like, maybe it won't hit, and then I might waste my time.
Yeah, well, so generally what we're finding is the people that are really jumping into this with both feet are the people that need a competitive edge. And we're finding that independent app developers and independent game developers are like, well, this is really going to set me on a different level. So I'm going to do this. And this is what I need to kind of stand out from the crowd. And it works. They're selling items that are truly valuable, that can be resold and that have proven scarcity. Again, like who wouldn't want that compared to an item that doesn't have all those properties?
It's like buying something on Fortnite and saying like, there's for sure 100 of these costumes, skins, and then you buy the last 100 and there's no more ever to be sold unless someone sells it again, probably on their own through the store. But that's it. Like, for sure you have it, and technically you could take that right and put it into another game because it's your skin forever, which is wild to me. And it's to ensure that you always have it. Yeah, like
it's crazy, isn't it?
You used to buy like old Call of Duty maps or Call of Duty guns, and it's like gone once the game or server ends. And now it's like, hey, no, I have that forever. I'm gonna use that in the next Call of Duty and Call of Duty after that and that.
Gosh. Yeah, I remember 3 years ago when I first, because I wasn't part of the Enjin team. I was a part of the community, and I just got obsessed with them, and I just started writing articles about them, and I was just, this is amazing. I hope this, you know, and this is like, I fully trusted the team because they had the, you know, the experience. Basically, they'd been around for 10 years. They'd built a successful business. So I was like, these are the guys. They can do it. I know it. And now it's done. Like, it's there. Like, we've got these NFTs. They're usable in multiple games. Like, this is amazing. So now all we need to do is get the word out and tell the rest of the world, hey man, like, why are you buying those centralized items that you can't resell and you don't know if they're rare? And what are you doing? Like, you've got these NFTs right here, man. Like, how would you not want that instead of that? Come on. So yeah. For businesses and developers that are coming into the space, if you're looking for a competitive edge, it's clear, like that is a competitive edge, and you lose nothing by trying it. Seriously, some people have installed this framework within a few days very easily, and I'm there to try to help make that easier. But if you're a huge company and you've got these huge games that are making like millions of dollars, yeah, like, I respect that. Like, you know, you keep doing that, to keep doing your thing. But, you know, this new market is coming for it's coming
for all you guys.
and users are going to want this. I mean, how could they not? So, you know, any new games that you're looking to start building or designing right now, then it is a good time to really try to understand, like, how can I make provable scarcity and secondary markets work for me as a game developer or an app developer? Because that's what a lot of other people are thinking. And when the market starts demanding, you know, provable scarcity and unbounded liquidity, then are you going to have a product for them or not? Basically,
yeah. It's very important.
Sounds really harsh. It sounds really harsh, but
it's true. The market never lies.
Yeah,
it rewards the people that actually make something that the people want. The market will decide.
Exactly. Yeah, and we do have to admit that the market is not demanding NFTs in games yet, but you know, these guys understand their user base more than I do. So all they have to really ask themselves is, like, do our users want provable scarcity and the ability to resell their items or not? That's really all you need to ask yourself. So
yeah, it's just to decide what kind of game you're making. Like, maybe a Candy Crush, maybe you don't need it.
Yeah,
but maybe like CS GO, right? Counter-Strike, you want to resell guns and stuff like that. So yeah. And so let's actually go a little bit more about your story. So you were a part of the community. So how'd you get involved? And were you like playing games before? Were you making games, or how did you get to where you are? Yeah.
I mean, I've always been a little bit of a gamer. I've always been a little bit of a tech nerd as well. Did a little bit of web design and stuff. So I've just been a bit obsessed with technology ever since. But really, I was just a part of the community. Like, as a career, I was a business development manager, which is just sales, basically. And about 5 or 6 years ago, I was like, you know what, man? Like, well, mainly when robots come, like, sales is going to be one of the first to go. You know, like, any robot can do my job and say the right thing and do my job better than I can. So I was like,
the pandemic showed that, like, people just want to click a button and have things delivered. They don't need to be sold something.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. So I was looking for something else, something that was future proof as a job. And then I found blockchain and crypto, and I was like, holy shit, this is the future. Like, you know, this is like, you know, sovereignty over your financial system. Like, once people realize what this is, everyone's going to want it. And now people don't know what it is and they still want it. So
exactly. It makes them money. They want it. I'm like, all right, if that gets people involved, fine. Why not?
Totally. As long as, the freedom is like a Trojan horse, all right? The freedom is locked inside the Trojan horse of money, made of money. So yeah, I got involved with crypto. I got really obsessed with crypto. I was always looking for tangible business use cases. As a business development manager, I was always looking for, like, you know, what makes sense. Like, you know, I never would sell a product that I didn't believe in. I mean, I tried and it sucked. It was the most horrible job work experience possible. I know.
I tried to sell sunrooms once, and I was like, why am I doing this? I don't care about sunrooms.
Yeah, man. So yeah, and it's not easy. So so from there, I've always just been, looking for and interested in things that I'm interested in, and interested in things that I believe in. And and I decided that I have a good eye for that kind of stuff. And then I saw Enjin, and I was like, holy shit, Leb, this is the future. As long as they can build it, as long as they can pull it off, this is what the world needs. And like from the beginning, like they were gaming focused, but I was like, oh, you can tokenize everything.
Yeah.
Tokenize the world. Like,
the first Earth NFT. We own the world.
It's a non-fungible planet. So yeah, that was a few years ago, and I just started writing a bunch of articles about it. Started emailing them like, hey, do you like my article? What can I do better? Oh yeah, I know this is, I'll do it better next time. Watch out for my next one. And just kept like hassling the community about Enjin, hassling Enjin about themselves.
That's a secret, just like, just hassle people till they hire you.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, like in a really productive way, and like really trying to add like a lot of value. And I was involved with the community for like a whole year or something before I emailed them and asked, hey, can I like do freelance like writing and actually like post it on your blog? And they were like, oh, cool, that'd be really good. And yeah, we just step by step, we just grew together and grew closer, and yeah, eventually I joined the team.
So if anybody wanted to be something like a vice president of development, how would they get there? Should they just continue to blog? Should they reach out? Like, let's say maybe not Enjin, but for anywhere else. Like, how can they be part of the cryptocurrency space? Because I think nobody grows up and says, I want to work in cryptocurrency yet. Maybe now soon, but how can someone go towards that?
So my path was to provide as much value as I could, essentially, without asking for anything in return. So that's what the articles were to me. It was my way of providing value to the community, providing value to the company, and just putting it out there and just showing what I could do, and then building a relationship and building that relationship based on the value I provided and the proof of what I could do. And then with that came the ability to say, hey, look, I'm really good at that, obviously, but I'm also really good at this. You want me to do that for you?
There you
go. and that's kind of just, and then once you're in a startup, it's just that kind of always happens, like it's like you're there. I think I entered as the social media director. So I was just there just doing social media, and I'm like, hey, we really need to do more PR. Like, we've got amazing things to talk about. I know journalists want to hear about this. Can I start emailing them? And they're like, yeah, let's do that. And then we created a PR process, and we started building relationships with journalists all around the world. And that's going really well. Like, journalists love our content because like there's so many amazing developers in our community that are doing things that have never been done before. Who doesn't want to hear about things that have never been done before?
It's the best thing ever. It's like they're doing something that's never been done. What is it? And then they go down the rabbit hole like, whoa,
yeah, let's write about it. And so it's just I think it's just mainly being like flexible, willing to learn. Most important thing about me personally is I always seek negative feedback. I'm always trying to find ways to always trying to find ways to optimize myself and what I'm doing. I think it's like super important to not put like ego in what you've done, but have ego in what you can do mainly. Like, it's more important to, like, what you can do is more important than what you've done. And if people criticize what you've done, then it's just an opportunity to grow, basically.
It's like focus on your strengths and not your weaknesses. You can always improve your weaknesses, but why not just capitalize on what you're super good at?
Yeah, exactly.
And then I wanted to know, because I actually don't know a lot about, but EFI, so that's like a different token that's used to do NFTs focused?
Yeah, so Enjin is creating a new blockchain called Efinity. That's going to be on the Polkadot network, which makes it an interoperable blockchain that can connect up with other blockchains.
Damn,
so it's
amazing.
So as a user, what it's going to look like is you're gonna have a wallet, and you're going to have an NFT on Ethereum, and then you're going to have a button there that says, do you want to move this to Efinity? And the answer will be yes, because Efinity has like really low gas fees and really
that's the problem with Ethereum. It's like high gas fees.
Yeah, as a developer, it's really, really hard to run a business on it, because you also don't know what your business
changes.
are going to be every day. it works really well for DeFi, obviously, because it's really like high value transactions. So if you're a millionaire and you're putting through $1 million DeFi transactions, sure, you can pay $30 in gas. It's nothing. But if you're a developer wanting to send someone a free item that's worth 30 cents, and you need to pay $30 to do that, you can't run a freemium game on Ethereum right now. So Enjin was kind of forced into creating this Efinity network. And yeah, it's going to be interoperable. You're going to have items on Ethereum, and you can just press a button and move them to Efinity, and then you can press a button and then move them to another blockchain. So it's really going to be a highway that connects blockchains. So say you want to get a token over to Polkadot, you'll press the button and move it onto Efinity, and then move it somewhere else on the Polkadot network. So it's going to be this cross-chain highway.
I like that. So, the highway metaphor works well.
Yeah, it's going to be really fun.
Now, yeah.
Just driving NFTs, just cruising around. And then, yeah, every single time those transactions happen, the gas fees will be tiny, but there still will be gas fees, and EFI will be the kind of transaction currency on Efinity. And then as a Enjin coin holder, EFI is also going to gravitate towards you, because you're going to be able to stake it into the Efinity network.
Yeah, I'm excited for that.
Best. Yeah, me too. Yeah, and you can choose the best collator nodes, which allow the Efinity network to run more smoother. And then by staking, you're going to get EFI just those transaction fees that are going around Efinity, they're going to come to you instead of going to miners, essentially. So you become the miner.
Oh yeah. So for anybody who doesn't know what staking is, can you explain a little bit?
Yeah, so it's basically the act of putting your money into something and earning money in return, essentially.
Oh, that sounds amazing. I love
it. So in this case, the money that you can stake is Enjin coin, and the money that you can get in return is EFI. And that EFI is taken from the Efinity network. People pay EFI when they want to move a token from Ethereum to Efinity, or they want to move that token over to Polkadot. So that highway system is very important, because that's what's generating the EFI that then goes to Enjin coin holders and stakers. Also, any transaction on Efinity will have a little bit of gas, so that will again take EFI. There's smart contracts on Efinity. There's a marketplace on Efinity. Everything will go back towards the community, and this cycle of EFI just coming back to stakers, essentially.
I love the sound of that.
Yeah, it's gonna be a lot of fun.
Now, just to clarify, when somebody stakes a coin, they still have that coin? And so they say like a year later, after they got the rewards of the EFI, can they just take out that Enjin coin?
Yeah,
or
absolutely.
And then they still have it at the value, or is it like okay, cool? Yeah, because I
retain 100% of the value. Yeah.
So there's really no reason why not to do it.
No. If you're holding Enjin coin, you should definitely stake it. There's no reason not to. Absolutely.
All right, cool. And
the only thing better that you could do with it is actually mint it into an NFT, because when you own NFTs that are that have Enjin coin inside them, that they're automatically staked. But also NFTs are generally you can generally sell them for a much higher markup. So if you're a developer and you mint an NFT, it might cost you 0.1 cents worth of Enjin coin, but then you can sell the NFT for $10. So how is that not a good business decision? Because while you're holding that NFT, you're still earning those staking rewards as well. So
genius. Yes. Wow. So you can
so minting is literally the only better thing you could do with Enjin coin.
And then also, can someone make their game a whole NFT?
Yeah. So
that's where we're moving to, basically everybody turning their creative work into NFTs.
Yeah, I mean, the question is whether or not your users want and your game to be an NFT, and the question becomes do my users want to purchase this game off me, then be able to resell it? Answer is probably yes. Do my users want this game to be scarce? The answer is probably yes, but you probably don't want your game to be scarce. You probably want it to be very, very common.
I want everyone to play it. Oh, only 100 players can play it. Damn. I messed up somewhere.
Yeah, maths.
Oh, that's funny. But yeah, okay, cool. And then also, I was curious, do you have any favorite games you've been playing recently?
Yeah, actually, A lot of GTA. GTA is like a
Really,
really fun
GTA
game.
Online or GTA?
Yeah, GTA
Just
Online.
hey,
Such a, I can't believe that game's like 4 or 5 years old. It's an amazing quality.
and they're re-releasing it.
Yeah, yeah. Well,
PS5
there's even
version.
rumors. Oh, really?
Yeah.
I heard rumors that GTA 6 is coming soonish. I guess that's going to be in years, but
No, I think it's
either
all
way.
rumors.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Speculation. People are
See,
high
do you
hopes.
think one day the blockchain will be able to like you can see articles and like you'll see the proof of like if the stuff they're saying is real or not, or if it's just some kind of fake? I don't know, because there's got to be a way to like
Maybe.
handle news that isn't true, which is hard.
Yeah, yeah.
So
Um,
I don't know how they'll do that one day.
yeah, I don't know.
But yeah, because I saw
Yeah.
some of that. They said GTA 6 is like done and now they need testers, but it's like that's not how it works. They always have testers to make it.
Yeah, you test all the way through.
Yeah, so I was like, it's not coming anytime. Well, maybe 2 years from now. Once
Yeah,
we
a
get a
couple of
trailer,
years.
because what happened? They released a trailer 2011, and then it came out like a year or 2 years later. Who knows? We'll find out. We'll see what
Yeah,
happens.
yeah, we'll see.
Do you think they'll integrate Engine into GTA 6 for GTA Online?
I think it's a bit soon. I think it's, that's one of those situations where it's this huge game, immensely successful. If it ain't broke, don't fix it, kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
But I definitely think Rockstar should be looking at if they're creating any new games, they should be definitely trying to work out how NFTs can fit into the new game, into any new franchises, because you're going to be competing with a whole bunch of NFT games over the
Mm-hmm.
next few years, basically.
Do you think the
So,
first video game company that starts to implement NFTs will be like ahead of everyone else and will just be killing it, crushing it?
oh yeah, yeah, because the network effects, like all of these people owning these NFTs and like having them in their wallet forever and being able to resell the NFTs. When a game like really blows up, they're going to blow up hard, and the kind of player retention that game is going to have is just going to be just absolutely phenomenal, because all of these people have real world value. They can make real money playing this game. They've already made real money playing this game. The word is going to spread about how much this game has changed people's lives. Like this game that does this is going to be known, like not only as something that's like the first of its kind, but the first of its kind that's really impacted people's lives in this incredible way. So there's this brand marketing opportunity that's there for the taking right now. And there's some really good, like, smaller blockchain projects. I say small, but they're like some of the biggest blockchain projects in the world. But like compared to like the mainstream era, they really have very, very small user bases. But there are some blockchain projects that are capitalizing on that and doing a really good job of owning that space right now. But there's huge games out there to compete with, and that's where we need to be kind of working towards, really.
Gotcha. And for people, so you said you've interacted with a lot of people. Have you seen a lot of mistakes that are like common that people make when trying to integrate it or trying to reach out to you that they could, maybe people listening could avoid or learn from?
Yeah, I think the main thing that makes your life hard as a developer is if you really just try to just tokenize everything. Just
Oh,
make
true.
everything,
Yeah.
just
Just,
decentralize
everything's
everything.
NFTs.
Yeah,
The bucket that
yeah.
doesn't have anything, NFT, you can own it.
Because it is like a pretty fast integration of our API, but then you're working out all of the tokenomics and working and making and minting all of the NFTs, and then getting them all distributed. That is still a lot more work than just doing things in a centralized way. And the most important thing as a developer is that you can build a project now that is sustainable and you can earn revenue off as soon as possible. So you can be a self-sustaining business and a self-sustaining development team that's earning money, using it to develop, earning money, using it to develop, and then you just get bigger and bigger and you scale up from there. So like if you just kind of put everything on the blockchain, then like some of those things are going to be really, really popular. Other of those things, you've done all of this work and no one cares. And then it's like you could have just saved yourself the time and effort and just done that in a centralized way because the market's not demanding it yet. So that's probably the biggest thing. Just just have a really solid foundational business model, and then think of NFTs as an economy on top of it. and you'll be fine. Like, as long as your game loop is good, your user experience is good, people are loving it, people are talking about it, people are inviting each other to play. That's really the key to this. And NFTs can add to it, but you need the strong fundamentals too.
You need to have to focus on player experience, focus on making a game that's fun. And then one time I did an interview with someone, and it was like, make the game that people want, not the game that just you want. Because you think that, like, oh, I want this game, but it's like, maybe you like it, but you're trying to sell it to a lot of people. So make sure people actually enjoy it. So so make something that people enjoy, that want to share NFTs with, and then you'll be set.
Yeah. And just to add to that, a really good way to do that is, don't develop in a vacuum, just build your demo, release your demo, even if it's rough. In the blockchain space, everyone just wants to see progress, and they give really good, honest feedback, and they're always going to be there to help you grow. So if you just release like a very bare bones demo as quickly as you can, then you've got a community around it that are helping you, that are actually, it's like you're having your own advisory board, basically. They're all there, like, providing you the feedback. They're telling you what they want, and then you can disseminate how that aligns with what you want. So it makes it a lot easier to give them what they want.
Very well said. Well, awesome. Before we wrap this up, we do this thing where we have courses, sections, lectures, and at the end of the lecture there's a challenge to get people to make sure they actually understood what was being taught. So could you give a challenge for the GameDev.tv listeners to do after the podcast? Could be anything, could be engine related, could be game related, could be anything.
How do they do the challenge? Like, how do we know that they've done the challenge?
So they would post it on Facebook or Instagram or anywhere where I can see it, or anybody can see it, but usually in the forums. Like, they have a GameDev.tv forum. So they'll just post it there,
so they can post it as a video.
It could be a video, it could be picture, it could be in like Unity, Unreal, it could be drawing, it could be or it could be something where they don't post it. It's more of like, hey, just like watch a movie and think about things in a way, or play a game and think about game design. So it just depends on the challenge too.
Yeah. I got one. Use an NFT in 2 different games. Film yourself using an NFT in 2 different games and post it.
Yes. All right. I love it. I'll definitely share it to you when I get all the responses.
Please do.
Yeah. All right. Well, so this has been great. I've learned so much, Simon. Like, wow. I know everybody else here who probably doesn't fully understand crypto will now be like, I get it. I get NFTs. It's time to integrate them into games, the games that need them. So so thank you for coming on. This has been so much fun.
My pleasure. Thanks for having me. That was super fun. Yeah. You're an awesome host.
Oh, thank you so much. I appreciate that. And I'll pass the mic to you to end it off. Any shout outs, any last minute quotes, whatever you want to end this off with. And mic's all yours.
Yeah. So if you're a developer, come to Enjin.io. That's ENJIN.io. You can sign up, mint some tokens. You can check out the documentation, do the integration, hit the contact us button, and then I'll be there waiting on the other side to chat with you. If you're a community member, go to the same website, hit the Telegram link, hit the Discord link, come chat with us there. We've got a really amazing community, really a bunch of, just really like geniuses, really. Like, we get a lot of our best ideas from them. So they're always hitting us up with, you should do this, you should do that. So it's a really vibrant community, and we really value all of the interaction that happens there. So we'll see you there.
Well, that's it. Thanks for listening. You can find all courses at GameDev.tv or in the show notes at a discounted price. Get started with your game development journey today.